Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so your friends see it. Thank you.
MSNBC trusts to label the GOP as a domestic terror group. MSNBC's Joy Reid talked to guest Fernand Amandi, a Democratic pollster about renewing CHIP, Children's Health Insurance Program, in Florida. Amandi ended up suggesting that all Republicans are pro-pedophilia terrorists who should be in prison. Seriously. We know that Florida has a large abundance of people who are on CHIP. In a state like that, can the members of Congress from Florida afford not to renew CHIP? And why haven't they pushed for it? Asked Reid. It's an excellent question, Joy. You know, Florida and many other states would be decimated, Florida's children, other children. And I think it leads to the question, is it any surprise that the party that is pro-pay for play, pro-Putin, and now with Roy Moore, pro-pedophilia, the fact that they're anti-children, is that any surprise? Responded Amandi. I don't think it is. And I think, Joy, this is emblematic, this CHIP scenario where you mentioned 9 million children, without health insurance. I think if you take a step back, one has to ask themselves, and I think the American people should ask themselves the border question, what has the Republican Party in the last 10 years done to help the American people? What have they done? He asked. This is not a political party, this is a domestic terror group. And I think what the American people should consider when they ask themselves that question, with a party that has done nothing to help the American people, is to vote them out and consider possibly afterwards locking them up, Joy, he said. Just wow. Pelosi delivers most hypocritical defense of Dem. Representative Coiners never just because someone is accused. Nancy Pelosi revealed just how hypocritical she is when it comes to sexual harassment. To her, sexual harassment is nothing but a political game to try and make Republicans look bad. Case in point, she tried her hardest to discredit the accusers of Democratic Representative John Conyers. He was accused on excessively trying to make moves on an employee. When she rejected his advances, he fired her. You said there's now zero tolerance. John Conyers. What does that mean for him? Right now, in or out? Asked NBC's Chuck Todd. We're strengthened by due process. Just because someone is accused, and was it one accusation? Is it two? John Conyers is an icon in our country. He has done a great deal to protect women, Violence Against Women Act, which the left, right wing, is now quoting me as praising him for his work on that, and he did great work on that, responded Pelosi. Fox's Judge Jeanine Pirro recently castigated Pelosi for her hypocrisy on sexual assault. Franken says that Roy Moore has to go while Big Al Franken has not even denied the sexual harassment allegations against him that occurred while he was a sitting United States Senator, said Pirro. Where are our leaders? Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, for all your talk and moral piety, each of you must immediately demand the release and unmasking of those against whom sexual harassment findings have been made, otherwise you get out, too. Enough of this mess, said Pirro. Mainstream media turns on Joe Scarborough and Mika after being caught in a gigantic lie. MSNBC's Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski tried to trick their viewers with lies, but they were caught by the Washington Post. The Morning Joe show is supposed to be live. The show that aired the day after Thanksgiving showed the hosts talking about their dinners and how stuffed they still are. Only one problem, it was recorded before Thanksgiving. Day after Thanksgiving. Who? I'm stuffed, said Mika, on a show recorded before Thanksgiving. I always cook the turkey with the guts in it, said Mika in another segment. Joe didn't notice. He ate the bag, said co-host Willie Geist. It was good. Well, you know, the game made up for it, responded Scarborough. The biggest hint that the show wasn't actually live is that no one commented on the big news of the day: the mosque shooting that left 300 dead. An MSNBC executive confirmed that the program wasn't live. There was no intention to trick viewers. Would it have helped if there was a disclaimer referencing it as a delayed broadcast? Maybe. But that's not typically done, said the executive. I was quite flabbergasted by the way they were so deceptive about this. Especially when they are always so quick to castigate lying, or deception they attribute to others, said one viewer who noticed. Joe Scarborough tweeted against the Washington Post for calling him out. Wow. You either never watch our show or need your jokes so obvious they fall on you like an anvil on Bugs Bunny cartoons. We've been making fun of the practice for years. It's also over the top to be obvious. Also, the only person you sourced was an unnamed viewer who didn't want to be identified. Really? That's your source? One viewer who remained anonymous? That's funny. Any editors around there? He tweeted. If they are willing to lie about something like this, what else are they lying about? Watch ABC guest say that Republicans excuse Roy Moore because they are used to being raped. The mainstream media is furious at Alabama Republicans who still support Roy Moore despite allegations. They don't understand the phrase innocent until proven guilty. Well, they do when it comes to Democrats. Cokie Roberts, a veteran journalist and ABC guest, has a theory on why Republican women like Roy Moore. They were raped. One of the things to keep in mind is, in the base, even women are suspicious about these sexual harassment claims, said Roberts. And part of the reason for that is that women who are not in fancy white-collar jobs often have really awful things happen to them on the job. They are assaulted. They are raped. They have horrible things happen to them, said Roberts. And so when they hear women say, "He talked dirty to me," or "He came on to me," they think, big deal. That's not what happened to me. What happened to me is so much worse. And so there's not that same sense of affinity, said Roberts. Remember the days when people cared about due process? Those days seem to be long gone. No one except for Roy Moore and the women accusing him know for sure right now what really happened. Until there is a real evidence, people are allowed to believe what they want. Hollywood's Billy Baldwin shares story on how he almost lost his wife to Donald Trump. Billy Baldwin, brother of famous actor and Trump impersonator, Alec Baldwin, accused President Trump of trying to hit on his wife. Baldwin told the story after commenting on one of Eric Trump's Twitter statuses. "Talk amongst yourselves, 2 more women accuse Senator Al Franken of inappropriate touching," tweeted Eric Trump. "Your dad is a 5th-degree black belt when it comes to sexual impropriety allegations. In fact, I once had a party at the Plaza Hotel. Your father showed up uninvited and hit on my wife. Invited her on his helicopter to Atlantic City. She showed his fat ass the door." #Trump Russia, tweeted Billy Baldwin without evidence. Maybe there is more to the story. Every one of the washed-up actor's statuses are about President Trump. But not about his politics. More just about him as a person. He seems to have a very personal vendetta against the president. "I'll take things that never happened for $100, responded one user. Mos Def. Begged her to go to AC with him. She gave him the Heisman and he squirmed off into the night with his security detail, Baldwin wrote in response. "Think that's good? Wait till I tell you about doing scenes in acting class with Marla Maples, terrific person. In the late 80s. It was before Ivana or the press even knew. We rehearsed in her apartment and Donnie Boy would call every 20 minutes to check up on us." Joy Behar exposes how she really feels about all Trump supporters. It's disturbing. During an interview on The Morning Joe show, The View host Joy Behar said how she really feels about all Trump supporters. They started by talking about how they end up talking about Trump at dinner parties and getting into big fights about him. People are splitting up marriages because of him. You know, if you're not on the same team, it's very difficult to stay together, said Behar. She said she can't believe that a Trump supporter could be married to a non-Trump supporter. She then said she can't even go out to dinner with a Trump supporter peacefully. I really can't do it, said Behar. And why can't you do that? Scarborough asked. Because if you are a Trump supporter, there's something going on with you that I can't abide, Behar said. That means that you don't care about the environment. It means that you don't care about women's issues. It means you don't care about the fact that he provokes that nutcase in North Korea. I'm worried about the country. How can you be on his side? I don't get that. Do you? Responded Behar. She then said she has trouble finding Trump supporters. Who are they? Where are they? Most of them are closeted, it seems like. They're not really coming out and saying I'm for Trump at these dinner parties. They don't quite say it. They're embarrassed, said Behar.